Hello everyone, this is Showboat and welcome to part 1 of a vlog series that I have recorded for June 22nd of 2016. In this video I will briefly discuss my 3-month hiatus as well as talk a bit about the technology changes that have happened over that period of time in regards to my videos going forward. While I initially intended on taking a break of about a week or two, I have not been around for about 3 months. So, yeah, and during that whole time I've felt quite disinterested in actually making any videos. So as for why, well, there was this game called Black Desert Online that launched. I don't know if any of you have heard of this MMO. Is it free to play? I think it's free to play. MMORPG, sort of sandbox like. If you played Archage, it's somewhat similar to that, just a lot better in terms of overall quality than that. But as we'll talk about later, I did end up stopping that game after about a bit over a month and a half, maybe. I forget exactly how long I actually played Black Desert Online, to be completely honest. What I do know is that after I stopped playing that, I basically immediately got into playing Stellaris, and then Dark Souls 3, and then Hearts of Iron 4, and then during all of that time, I was also watching a ton of anime that I both had to catch up from my time playing Black Desert Online, as well as shows that I had been meaning to watch for a long time that I finally got around to watching. But the point being, during this entire time, I really didn't feel like actually making videos. I was completely disinterested, and even now I am still somewhat disinterested. The passion, the habit is just gone at this point. I am completely out of the habit of making games. Not making games, of making videos of games. And, yeah, my voice also is, is out of practice, to say the least. When you record your voice for commentary for Let's Plays, that can be very, very long. If you ever plan on making more than one video in a day, it can get rather taxing. Yeah, I'm out of it. I'm completely out of it. And while I do want to change that, what will not change is how I currently feel about the Oblivion and Gladius Let's Plays. So those two, at this point, I couldn't care less about their current state. I am completely disinterested in playing them at this point in time. I eventually want to go and complete them, but for now, that's just not going to happen. I would rather not make videos of them right now than force myself to complete them and have shitty videos as a result. It's just that simple. I need to actually be at least somewhat passionate and enthusiastic about what game I'm playing to make decent videos of it, and that's not the current state of Gladius and Oblivion. That being said, however, do expect me to potentially start a new Let's Play series, one series at a time, initially, of games that I have actually been passionate about fairly recently. To be more specific, either something like Hearts of Iron 4 or Dark Souls 3. So yeah, look forward to something like that eventually. I do, though, need to work on the enthusiasm front for those as well. Moving on to the tech side of things, I have been working on the audio quality, among several other things, and I do hope that it is a bit improved over previous iterations. It is, however, as always, a work in progress. The main issue that I have been dealing with lately has been related to the degree of background noise removal, as my mic is actually very sensitive to the background fan noise of my PC in particular. That being said, I also have a desk fan on the desk that the mic is attached to. Thank God I have a shock mount which gets rid of any vibrations that may occur because of that. But yeah, so the way I deal with background noise is I have Adobe Audition where I run the audio through a set of live processing effects. Basically, I take the audio from the mic, I run it through Audition, and Audition outputs the audio to a virtual audio cable line, which is the line that I record from. And among the effects, I have adaptive noise reduction, which I have been tinkering with lately to try to reduce, in particular, a bit of robotic echo that I was noticing in my recording. So I've mostly resolved that as far as I can tell. It's likely still there a bit, but for the most part, the audio is very much improved compared to what it was. I have gone through all the other effects and modified things quite a bit. Quite a bit. It's basically a completely different setup with actually very minimal processing to the audio, so that should be an improvement overall. But as I said, work in progress, it may change going forward. Maybe even within this very video, it will change because of the way in which I'm actually recording this commentary. So with that said about the audio, I have also thought about the video quality itself, and in particular, I don't really like the 10-second intro. I don't. I just don't like. I find it annoying, actually. The whole intro that I had been using up till now. So you probably noticed at the beginning of this video something like a 3-second static image that like fades out of just my logo. So that's likely just going to be the thing going forward, because I realize how much of a pain it must be to everyone watching the playlists where I'm using that particular intro that I've been using recently. It's annoying. I wouldn't want to have to sit through that 10 seconds at the start of every video as I'm watching a playlist. Man, that must be horrid. So yeah, something really short, 3 seconds, no sound. I think that's the key thing, no sound. So yeah, hopefully that will be a better option going forward. On that front as well, I want to note that I have also removed one of my GTX 980 graphics cards fairly recently, among all the other stuff I was doing over my hiatus. So basically, I went into my computer, drained its water cooling loop, and unhooked my second graphics card. For those who don't know, I've had two Asus Poseidon GTX 980s, which basically they have integrated water cooling on them as well as fans. They call it hybrid cooling. So you can use the cards without hooking them up to water, but I had them hooked up to my water cooling loop. Now, as for why I removed the second graphics card from my system in the first place, well, it's because I am fed up with SLI just in general. It causes so many problems, both in games and as a result of bad NVIDIA drivers, that I can't use it anymore. I'd rather not have it than have it in its current buggy state. Like, it was getting to the point where I was getting hard crashes of my machine because the games I was playing hated SLI. I mean, really hated, to the point of crashing the entire PC because the SLI was on. And the only way to solve these crashes was to turn off SLI. And I figured if I'm going to have SLI off all the time, there's no point of having two cards in the system, and I can just sell the spare card. So yeah, there's that. I'm done with SLI. So during that whole time, though, when I took apart the PC, basically, at the very least, I took apart the water cooling loop in order to remove that card. It gave me the opportunity both to refresh the water in the water cooling loop, which had been in there for like 4 or 5 months at least since the last time I refreshed the water in it. So it was a bit overdue for refreshing its water to begin with, and gave me an opportunity to dust out the system a bit and replace one of the fans that was knocking. Like, yeah, the bearings were shot on it or something. It was making noises that I didn't want making noises. So, yeah, I replaced the entire fan with one of my spares. So now I have one less spare, which sort of sucks. I have like one other Corsair fan that's spare, that's the same as the ones that I have in there, and a few that are a different brand that are technically spares, like 3 of them. So I can afford to lose up to 4 more fans, but after that, it's like, it won't work anymore. I will need more fans. So yeah, besides that, after I put everything together again, I haven't yet bothered to put my console recording setup hooked up again. So I couldn't even record Gladius right now, even if I wanted to, which I honestly don't. But that's mainly because I've just been lazy and I haven't felt like hooking the HDMI cables back up to my capture device on the back of my PC. So yeah, that's basically that from the tech side of things. I think it's about time we move on to something not quite related to the tech side of things, but still has something to do with my actual audio commentary.